No, you're good. Is this mine? No, this isn't not even a big deal. This is just my own. I'm talking on the video right now.
Oh, hello.
But it's just a game plan. Like they never really matter. The only ones that matter is when I'm actually trading, because that's like stuff I rewatch those, and if there's just like pointless stuff in there, it's kind of annoying. But anyways, all right. Let's look at the daily. Wow, yeah, quite the move out of there. This is so funny. I literally called this out to a freaking T. Fair value gobble for the win. That's my own pattern that I created, and it's literally look at that. Look at that. Pinpoint nail call the bottom. Right there too. See these lines? That's where I thought it'd bounce. And it bounced almost to the exact tick. Which is crazy because this is a huge range. Like this is hundreds and hundreds of points. And a tick is like a, I guess on here it's a single point actually.
But still,
Yeah. But look at that. Look at that. Look how close. It's literally actually right at it, at the tick.
oh wait.
It's like actually right on. It's so funny. Oh wait, you know what? No, that's my alert. Whoops. No, it is. I knew it. Yeah, it was a few points off. But yeah, anyways. Anywho. Just cool to see the accuracy there. Alright, so we got the big move up. Wicks on NASDAQ and ES. Interesting. But on Russell and the Dow and on Russell we actually have SMT because on the Dow we didn't crack the low, the higher time frame low here, the election low. Yeah, it's gonna be fun is to one day when you're don't have to work to just for fun, just to go on your own little trading excursion.
I want to try. I just want to see how much I'm.
We can get you a little account and you can see how annoying and how frustrating it is. But how fun it is. That's like it is really fun to it's like a game, but it's like a life game. It's like very real. Well, you won't really care though, that's the thing. Because it's like for you it's just a matter of winning and losing, but for me it's like making money. So but yeah, anyways, maybe we can give you a goal and like if you can do it then we can do this special thing or something.
Yeah.
Like a crazy thing, like something really good. That way you actually have the emotions that go with trading. All right, so let's just start with the flow because the flow has been really tricky. So calls were up into the end of the day and puts were dumping, so that's really bullish. But on the tide, calls are still being really heavily sold and price went up, and usually tide doesn't diverge from price too much. So to me, this is actually, it's almost like it's calling a dump, even though we did have calls rally and puts being sold here. I don't know, the most of the volume is in the puts here. So no, it is still bullish. And then Q's is not. We had definitely put buying here. And then Dow Jones, not significant, but bullish. And then Russell, this was the one that was really weird. Calls were negative, flat all day long. And Russell pumped face today. And then puts pumped with no volume though. So I think that's the same thing. It's like the same pattern as what happened today. Um, So yeah, I think we're in for a pretty nice pullback before we rip back up, and that makes a lot of sense. And I think maybe even these guys could even come lower. It's kind of a mixed bag though. Not very clear, but it does seem to lean to the bearish side on Russell, and there is some bearishness happening on the tide, which I mean puts were positive versus the calls, and even if the volume is in the puts, it's still put volume was put volume was declining. So yeah, it is pretty bearish actually. Which might mean yeah, we make a new low here, just like what I've been freaking waiting for to confirm the bottom. So yeah, I think that's probably a good little bias there for the flow. Let me pull up my notion here. Flows seem pretty net bearish, especially RTY and Tide was oddly divergent, be bearish, with NASDAQ unclear. Alright, what's funny is on this move up in the call in the puts where we got the move down, that was most of the volume. And then as they started to sell the puts, there was no volume except into here. But most of the volume was still in the puts from here, and it didn't decline that much. So I think they are still, they're really good at hiding, I think, what's going on here. Okay. So yeah, 4 hour, we've got that 4 hour fair value gap down here still. Everything else has been rebalanced, which is what gave that long trade on Russell today that I missed. Everything else has been rebalanced on ES and NASDAQ. That's very interesting. Huge wicks to the downside. Really weird that it's doing that. And then a lot of liquidity here on the lows on YM with smooth highs, or highs, sorry. Relative equal highs here. Maybe we can even, yeah, whatever. We'll just leave it right there. Kind of ugly, but yeah, NASDAQ respected the CE of the daily and then rejected. And then on the 1 hour, way back to ES. Yeah, everything's been rebalanced. We had SMT. Let me actually note that SMT so that we can keep it in mind. So there's an SMT there, and we'd want to see an alert here for the Dow because that would coincide with a Russell, sort of a short maybe. So yeah, possible area of interest there for Russell and the Dow for maybe a short if it sets up the right way. Alright, looking back at this internal range, it was rebalanced on the 1 hour, same thing on Russell, and now NASDAQ and ES are being really bearish again. This reminds me of like August or September or whatever when ES and NASDAQ were really bearish versus Russell because Russell was rotating. So maybe that's exactly the same conditions that's happening now, where longs in the Dow and Russell work really, really well, and shorts in NASDAQ and ES work really well too, but less so in ES. If anything, just the NASDAQ is just the best short there. We do have SMT here confirming this low, but it's the wrong kind of SMT for me to be confident. So if anything, I just look for NASDAQ to make somewhat of a higher high versus ES, and there to still be a short maybe there. Yeah, we're still rejecting it. Maybe even we're still headed lower for NASDAQ because we do have these relative equal lows now. So that would make a lot of sense for NASDAQ to come sweep this out. ES also has relative equal lows as well. So yeah, maybe long Russell and short NASDAQ. I think that's in play now. I still want to see some sort of higher time frame SMT that makes sense though to confirm the bottom. I'm a little worried. I don't know if these guys are necessarily going to dump, but it just seems like we need an SMT on the actual low somewhere. But obviously longs have been playing and this SMT still has worked and we came down into, we just haven't had any like higher time frame SMT, like intermediate term range versus like short term range. So yeah, we're still rejecting this area, but I think obviously oh yeah, we had those old, yeah. So we have this area of interest here, and lots of smooth highs. Not as clean there on Nasdaq though, but we do still have smooth highs up here. So yeah, maybe ES wants to come up actually up into here, and then create some sort of SMT for a short. Tomorrow would have a really big range, so that's why things are looking like hard on the smaller time frame. So yeah, yeah, just look for an SMT on the smaller. This is useless right now. Okay. Other than that, on the regular stock charts, yeah, Dow Jones still has those. Yeah, it is kind of distracting actually, because I'm like self-conscious for some reason. I know, but just having you there, it is distracting. But it's okay for next time. Just yeah. But yeah, we do have smooth highs here on the Dow there. Russell is way lower looking than, no, yeah, it's a bit lower than the Dow. So that'd be interesting if Russell comes and takes a high, or I don't know, Dow takes the high, and then we get the SMT for a short. We do have this as a level here on IWM though, which is super clean. So that's actually interesting. Is that on here? Yeah, same thing there. So this is a nice area of interest here, support and resistance area flip. So maybe we'll come and sweep that out. We have relative equal lows on the Dow there too. And that's it basically for that. But yeah, I mean, it does seem like we could get a short into a long, because I wouldn't want to long any of this for now. SPY. Oh, SPY has some relative equal highs here. Didn't even notice that. Oops. Man. So yeah, relative equal highs there on SPY. That's interesting. So that makes sense for that soup to occur and then get like a big SMT with NASDAQ at the lows or something. But yeah, other than that, big hold of that gap. QQQ does not have those relative equal highs. But yeah, now it's so much weaker than SPY. Yeah. Cool. I think that's basically it. I think it is. Yeah. Should look for shorts. The only thing is just that weird flow that's going on Russell. Just the put premiums and calls. Calls were like flat all day with big spikes in puts. Yeah. So I think we're looking for a short again tomorrow. So yeah, and it's gonna be a higher time frame trade because it's CPI. Um, gold, silver, nothing, crypto, and then yeah, maybe we get that euro, pound, dollar, SMT to get long that I'm looking for on the euro. So yeah, all right, yeah, that's basically it. Um, areas of interest on SPY, relative equal highs as what was the other one? Was it also SPY? Maybe it was the Dow. Oh, it was Russell. As to I with the support resistance area and NQ weakness, just like back in the fall when NQ was giving amazing shorts. Yeah, and we still haven't had like an outright bullish flow on any of these days yet, on any of this bounce. So I do think, yeah, I think we're gonna create a really nice short tomorrow, which is kind of exciting. So yeah, I'm actually very biased short. So we'll look for the up to go down trade.